Welcome students to another lecture in the series. Let's continue further with the sorry income from salary. Here after finishing allowances, the next important part that we have under income from salaries is perquisites. These are the two most important parts, and I have noticed many a times that students are not able even to define the term perquisites. So let us try and understand that what perquisites are, because sometimes students think that allowances and perquisites are same, though they are not. Okay. Now let us see the dictionary meaning first of all. Perquisite is defined in the Oxford Dictionary as any casual emolument or benefit which is attached to an office or a position in addition to a salary or wage. It is a facility which is provided by the employer in kind to the employee for official use or for personal benefit, or partly for official purpose or partly for private purpose. It You can say that these are the things that employees may receive in kind and then quantified for the purpose of taxation. Section 17 subsection 2 defines perquisite in Income Tax Act. I have quoted few examples here on this first slide. House accommodation, maybe with furniture, maybe without furniture. Simply furniture, servants of various categories like maybe house help, maybe a gardener, maybe some guards outside the house, then gas or electricity or water service, telephone or mobile or fax service, use of computers, laptops, iPads, tablets, and other electronic devices as per the requirement. So these are the examples of few perquisites. So I hope you can understand that these are the additional benefits that a person gets from his employer in addition to the salary or wage that he is obtaining. These are some casual emoluments. Let's move further. An employee is referred to as a specific employee. When we are saying that an employee is receiving perquisite, obviously will be some employee of a higher category. Like employee can be a director in the employer company. He can be some person of substantial interest in the employer business. 20% or more share in the ownership or profit of the employer company would be there. Employee can have cash taxable salary more than 50,000 during the year. So in these cases, the high profile employees are given these perquisites. Now let us see. Please keep that in mind that perquisites are taxable in the hands of the categories of employees. Now let us see these taxable perquisites. Let us name them first of all. I named few in the previous slide as example. Let us see all of them now. House accommodation with or without furniture, servant hired by employee, gas or electricity or water service connection in the name of the employee, sale of assets to employee, loan to employees with interest at a lower rate or without interest, club membership for personal use. There can be many more. Let us have a look. There can be a car facility or other vehicles which are hired or owned by the employee. LTC, that is leave travel concession above some limit. We will be studying these limits one by one. Medical facility beyond permissible limits. Education facility beyond permissible limits. Food or snacks provided by the employer beyond limits. Contribution to PF, that is provident fund, or any pension fund or any other welfare fund for the benefit of the employee above certain prescribed limit. Monetary obligations of employee paid or reimbursed by the employer. Income tax paid on behalf of the employee, not the TDS. Professional tax paid for the employee. These are the certain categories of the perquisites. Now let us see their taxability one by one. Perquisites taxable for specified employees only can be few, like furniture provided without house for personal use, servant provided for personal use, gas or electricity or water services provided from one source or from outside agency where connection is in the name of the employer, car facility or other vehicle facility where it is owned or hired by the employer, education facility from own source or outside agency. These were the taxable perquisites. Now let us see certain perquisites which are exempted for all the employees. Any facility received only for official use, mobile, telephone or fax service at the house or for personal use including bills, use of computers, laptops, iPads, any tablets or electronic devices for official purpose, leave travel concessions within limits, medical facilities in hospitals which is maintained by government or government approved or maintained by the employer. Then we have education facilities for employee, health club or recreation facility for employee, food or snacks provided by employer within limits, contribution to PF or pension or any other welfare fund for the benefit of the employee, any gift vouchers or gifts up to rupees 5,000, training expenses incurred on employee, and premium on health and life insurance policy of the employee. Now let us see these perquisites one by one and how to calculate and see their values. The first and foremost, the maximum times, this is the most talked about perquisite, that is the value of housing accommodation. Let us see the categories. The housing accommodation provided by the employer to the employee may be of any of these types. It can be furnished or unfurnished. It can be rent free or at may be charging a rent at a concessional rate. It may be owned by the employer or it may be hired by the employer for the employee. It may be provided by the government or not, possibility. Whether provided in a hotel, it is quite possible that the accommodation is temporary and might be provided in a hotel. Now let us see the computation of taxable value of this house assuming unfurnished and rent free. Like how we calculate and compute the taxable value of this perquisite. See, first case, if house accommodation is owned by government and provided to its employees. In that case, the taxable value shall be the license fees which is determined by the union or state government in respect of that accommodation in accordance with the rules which are like framed by the government for the allotment of houses to its officers depending on their rank. Okay. Then further, the rent-free official residence provided to the judges of a high court or to judges of Supreme Court is exempt to tax. We need to keep that in mind. Then rent-free accommodation which is given to any officer of parliament or to a union minister or to a leader of opposition in parliament is also exempt from tax. Now let us see this next part of it, that if the house accommodation is owned by any other employer and provided to the employee. In that case, it depends that what kind of city that is. Let us see that, and that is seen as per the population of that city. As per 2001 census, if the city is small and is having a population of up to rupees 10 lakh, then the taxable value would be 7.5% of the salary. If the population of the city is above 10 lakhs but above 10 lakhs but up to 25 lakhs, then it would be 10% of the salary. If it is a bigger city and the population is above 25 lakhs, then it would be 15% of the salary. Now next part, if the house accommodation is hired by employer to rent and provide it to employee, taxable value would be the lesser of these two, actual rent which is paid by the employer or the 15% of the salary. Whichever is less would be applicable. Next, that if the accommodation is provided by the government at a concessional rate, then the value of concession shall be the license fee reduced by the actual rent paid by the employee, means actual rent paid minus the license fee. If the accommodation is furnished, means it is fully furnished, then we calculate assuming that the accommodation is unfurnished and increase the total calculated value by 10% of the cost of the furniture, or either by the actual hire charges which are paid or payable for that particular purchase, hiring charge of the furniture. It is applicable in case the furniture is hired from outside. Next, if the accommodation is provided by the employer or the government or any other employer in a hotel, and the value of accommodation would be minimum of the amounts given here, 24% of the salary paid or payable for the previous year, or the actual charges paid or payable to such hotel. These are the two conditions. Then no perquisite value, even if the accommodation provided in a hotel, if the two conditions are fulfilled, these two conditions, see, such accommodation is provided for a period which is not exceeding 15 days, means that this hotel accommodation is allowed only for 15 days and it has been provided on the transfer of the employee from one place to another. When the person is being transferred from one place to another, then it would, if it is provided. So salary for this purpose, how we calculate the salary, the basic salary, the DA, which would be the forming the part of the salary, and all the other taxable allowances which we have already studied, bonuses and commissions if he is receiving any monetary obligation which is paid by the employer to the employee. So salary for this purpose excludes all the taxable value of the perquisites, all retirement benefits and advances and arrears of salary. We do not include them. For the calculation of the salary for this purpose, we include only these few things and we exclude the perquisites and retirement benefits and advances and arrears of salary. So this was the thing for the particular lecture. You may study and practice and learn the conditions given here. In the upcoming lectures, we will be applying them in certain numerical questions and we'll be practicing them. Till then, take care, study well.